Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Poor Man's Chemist. In this video, I am going to try two different preps of mercuric cyanide. I am going to try making it from mercuric oxide and from mercurous nitrate. What I have here is a solution of sodium potassium cyanide that I've made up in the normal way. I tell you what, man, I'm really starting to perfect this prep. At least I hope I am. I mean, if there's ferrocyanide in there, you can't see any hint of it. I also was able to get out all of the iron particulates just by letting it stir with the magnetic stir bar. It did all the work for me, which is very convenient. What I have over here is some freshly precipitated mercuric oxide. I would have filtered this and tried to dry it, but then this video would take even longer to come out. And I mean, it's been rinsed several times. It's just in there with some water, and I think we're going to be okay to try it like this. Unless I have a very hard time. Nah, see, I'm going to do this just fine. So, I'm just going to add this in bit by bit to the sodium potassium cyanide. Oh, nice. It's dissolving. Now, we will get some disproportionation. That's expected. Before, when that happened, the first time I tried it, I was a little perplexed, but that's because it's been so very long since I actually made this compound. And when I went back and actually watched my old video, I saw, oh, this shit is supposed to happen. And I also saw, oh, I did it the wrong way. Yes, it helps sometimes when you go back and look at your older stuff. See, it's just dissolving nicely there. Sorry about that. I didn't realize it was so far zoomed out. My bad. And we're just going to keep doing this until no more reacts. At which point, we will let it settle, filter it, and then neutralize it to remove the excess cyanide. That'll be fun. And then we will separate the mercuric cyanide from the potassium sulfate contaminant. Okay. I made up more cyanide than I thought. Damn. And I was worried that this wasn't going to work. Okay, seriously? It's so nice when shit works. Now, of course, mercuric cyanide is very, very poisonous. You don't want to touch it. I would treat it like thallium. You know, thallium salt. It is freely soluble in water. It will either kill you by cyanide poisoning or mercury poisoning. If you survive the cyanide part, I imagine you'd be in kind of a weakened state and not necessarily up to deal with a round of mercury poisoning. Might be better if the cyanide kills you. Alright. Now I'm beginning to wonder how much of this I actually need to add. Alright, well. I hope that my big fat hand isn't in the way there and you guys can see this. I'm just kind of pouring it in here. Well, this prep is turning out to be a hell of a lot easier than I thought. I may not even go for the other way. This is going to make a fuck ton of mercuric cyanide. Oh. Are we getting close? Maybe, possibly. Okay, I think we're getting close to the end point here. Yeah, we definitely are. It's lingering. I don't know that going overboard will hurt, but I don't know that it'll help either. Then again, we've got to be getting close to the end point here. Okay, yep, it's taken too long to dissolve now. We're definitely close to the end point. Okay, well, I managed to get mercuric oxide all over the place. That's wonderful. It always seems to happen with this stuff, man. It is so fucking messy. Ugh. Oh, well, whatever. Alright, so now the plan is to let this one settle, get all of the particulates that... Are they? Okay, no, they're not dropping out yet. And if I didn't mention it before, I wasn't actually heating anything here. Alright, nice and messy, like always. Oh, and now I have to try this fucking mercuric oxide, and there's not that much of it. Man, what a pain in the ass. Okay, well, like I said, we're going to let this one settle out. I'm just going to leave it for a little while. I'm going to put it in the dark because mercuric cyanide is photosensitive, so I'm going to go put this in the shed. And then I will get everything kind of cleaned up here, and I will come back and we will try the other method. Okay, I have our solution filtering out here. The plan is to evaporate it down and then filter it again later on. But while this is happening, we're going to go ahead and try the other method of making this stuff. And that is to react a mercurous salt with alkali cyanide dissolved in water. So I've got some mercurous nitrate here. It has... all mercurous salts that I've worked with have a low solubility in water. It's what makes them so much less toxic than mercuric salts. That's why mercurous chloride was used as a medication to treat, what was it? Constipation, I think. You know, yeah, if you took too much of it, eventually it would give you mercury poisoning. But, you know, provided you kept the dose low and didn't use it often, from what I understand, people basically used it without any real ill effects. I don't know, that was hundreds of years ago, so don't use mercurous salts to try to control stomach problems, kids. Anyway, I'm not so sure how this one is going to turn out. What this will do, when I add the alkali cyanide, it will cause this to disproportionate into mercury and mercuric cyanide. So, I don't know that the end point is going to be as clear with this, but let's give it a try and let's see what happens. All else fails, I can always recycle it. Yep, it disproportionated it all right. Rather dramatically, I would say. Okay, let's make sure it's all getting mixed in here. Again, I have no idea when to stop. Okay, it is doing something weird here. What is happening when I add it in? That swirl there. I don't know what that swirl is. Let's see if I can make it a bit easier to see. Maybe it's just water mixing in, huh? Although it looks very much like it formed a precipitate of some kind. Oh, well, maybe not. Okay, we still got white mercurous nitrate on the bottom. That's good. Although not a whole lot. Okay, well, I don't want to have a super excess of cyanide in this one either, so let me take a look at this. Okay, I think I'm going to stop here. There's still a little bit of white mercurous nitrate left on the bottom. As I go to evaporate it down, hopefully any mercurous nitrate that's in solution will either be reduced by the light to the metal or it'll crystallize out. So I think the thing to do with this one is to let this one settle for a little while And I'm going to go ahead and start evaporating down the other solution because that has a pretty high volume and it looks like it's going to take a while. I also don't want to jack the temperature up super high to evaporate it even faster because, well, I mean, mercuric cyanide is a wildly toxic compound, and it's probably a good idea to proceed with caution with it. So I don't want to do anything that would generate aerosols or have any chance of causing it to vaporize. That would be bad. Okay, everyone, so I evaporated this down a little bit. Not sure how wise that was, but I did it. And filtered it again. It had an annoying tendency to drop metallic mercury out over time, but I don't think it's broken down. At least I hope it isn't. So according to the textbook, we are going to go ahead and add a couple drops of phenolphthalein to this. It is very alkaline, so it should become colored. And now we want to add 3 molar sulfuric acid to this until it is just neutralized. This is going to be a tricky bit because this is going to generate hydrogen cyanide gas. So we want to proceed slowly so that we do not generate a lot of gas at any one time, and we want to proceed really carefully. So we've got our trusty redneck ventilator up here. And of course, we will be using the redneck respirator, as always. Yeah, there's nothing else for it, man. This is what we got to do. So we're just going to add the acid in until the color just disappears. It's already kind of disappearing. We might need a little bit more here. Okay. Could you hang around there, phenolphthalein? We kind of need you. Jesus Christ. All right, here goes nothing, people. Okay, everybody, there we go. It is just neutralized. Kind of went past the end point a little bit. The curse of all chemists who decide to be impatient with their neutralizations. Now the textbook says to evaporate this down over boiling water, so I am going to do that. And then we will purify it by extracting it into anhydrous methanol, evaporating that, and we will have our pure mercuric cyanide. Yay! We're getting close. Now, for the one prep the other way, presumably you would remove all of the precipitated mercury and then proceed exactly the same way. And let's take a look at that one real quick. Okay, so you can see that the sample that we made by disproportionation of the mercurous nitrate, the mercury settled out after letting it sit overnight. So again, presumably, I don't know. There's almost no information on this prep other than you can do this. If it produces anything else, I am not aware of it. So we might be able to get away with just combining this one with the other one and evaporating it down. Let's find out. If it's alkaline, it should turn this other one pink again from, the alkali in the solution. Here's our other one. I'm keeping over here just to make sure it's not giving off any gas. Are you alkaline? No. Well, I'll be goddamned. Look at that, people. Oh, very slightly. Very, very slightly. I bet you 1 drop of acid would fix this. That is very slight indeed. Let's bring you guys up a little bit here. See it? You can see just a hint of pink. Come on, Stir Bar. I need you to get to work here, bitch. There is no slacking here. There we go. Perfect. Alright. Well, now we know. If you do it from the oxide, you're going to have to deal with the alkali, but if you do it from the mercurous nitrate, so what is it? From all I can tell, all you have to deal with is the mercury that drops out and the little bit of excess mercuric nitrate or mercurous nitrate you should still have. Very, very cool. Well, this is tons of fun. I have to do this in here because I have to keep it out of the sunlight as much as possible. If you don't, it starts to break down into some kind of fine white precipitate. Now, so long as it's pink, we know it's alkaline. It's not going to be giving off hydrogen cyanide. But I have to keep adjusting the pH with 3 molar sulfuric acid, which is lots of fun. So when you do that, you get hydrogen cyanide. I don't know if the bubbles are showing up. See them? Yes, doing this in a closed space is stupidly dangerous, especially with no ventilation. That's why I keep walking away to take breaths. I don't want to breathe anywhere near this thing. But unfortunately, it has to be done. That's making this prep very dangerous. If we could do it out in the open, it wouldn't really be as big of a deal, but because we have to protect it from the sun, that makes this a hell of a lot more complicated and, in my opinion, a lot more dangerous. I would not recommend this prep to anybody that's a beginner at all. I would say that this is definitely one for the intermediate to advanced level amateur. Okay everyone, so I have been evaporating this down and it is producing a shit ton of crystals to the point it keeps forming the skin of crystals, and I would have to sit here and continuously stir this to get it to evaporate. And it's starting to do that fucking thing where the crystals like to almost like migrate their way up the side of the thing. I don't know 100% what's going on there, but at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and stop. Most of the stuff should just go ahead and crystallize out, I think, at this volume and this concentration. So we'll lose a little bit. That's still going to be dissolved in whatever water is left, but I'm thinking this is going to drop a fuck ton of crystals. So then we can go ahead and do our separation of potassium sulfate and mercuric cyanide, and we will get our pure product. So we're almost there. Okay, so here is our crude product that I have evaporated down and filtered out. You can see it's still slightly pink from all the phenolphthalein. I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to get all that out. Now we need to extract it with 3 portions of hot methanol. The first one, it says, should be about 50 mils. Now the mercuric cyanide will dissolve in this, but the potassium sulfate will not. And the way I am going to do this, since I am not as much concerned about yield as I am about purity, as usual, is I think what I'm going to do is just filter this and rinse it with 2 other portions of methanol. It'll get most of it. It'll be fine. Oh, shit. Okay. That's not good. Fuck. Let's see here. Come on, you bastard. Okay, then. Alright, well, we'll have to filter this again, clearly. Okay, that is as far as I am going to go. Now, we just need to let this filter. You know what? There we go. Much better. And why not? We'll hit it with one more. There. If that don't got it, I don't know what will. So, just let it drip, and then the last step is to evaporate it down over a water bath and get our crystals. So, once we're ready to start that, I will come back. Okay, everybody, there we go. Mercuric Cyanide. The fucking phenolphthalein insists on staying pink. If I had to do this over again, I would do it from mercurous nitrate for sure, since you don't have to deal with all this alkali mess, it doesn't look like. But look at that shit. Oh, come on, son. Work with me here. I'm my moment of triumph, okay? I need you to cooperate, you fucking fusing ball of shit. Oh well. Anyway, look at that shit, people. We have done it. This is one of the most toxic compounds I have ever made. It is better than sex. This is so great. I love it. I love it. So, if you liked that video, give it a thumbs up. And if you didn't like it, Jesus Christ, it must suck to be that dead inside. Subscribe, comment, share the video. Maybe throw a few bucks my way if you found this entertaining. And until the next one, y'all, I will see you later. Oh, it's so great. I just fucking love it. That is awesome. It's so poisonous. It's so beautiful.